All right, what's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody's well. Let's chop it up about this boxing. Oh man, sorry, I'm running a little bit behind, man. Blood, I just sent Blood Boxing the link. So but Blood Boxing not being on right now is my fault, not his. But we had some good fights last night, man. We only got 7 people in the building, so just wait for you guys, wait for some more people to come in here. What's going on, all things? How you feeling, man? Daryl McKinney in the building. What's going on? Said good morning, Blood, and the kings and queens of the chat. Wow, this is funny. Should have more than 7 people, but it is what it is. Yeah, just 7 watching. Okay, we'll see. 9. Y'all coming in the building on this early morning. Early Sunday morning where but man, we had some good fights, man. We had some good fights yesterday. We had Zhang. Okay, there you go. People jumping in. Waiting for Blood to get here, man. But I didn't want you guys to sit here and wait too much longer. What's going on, Joseph Robinson? How are you? Good morning. He says, good morning, Fanon and the chat. Absolutely. Good morning. Pleasant morning. Walter Tran, what's going on, man? What's going on, Mr. Prado? We got Blood here, man. Okay, it's my bad. Sorry about that, Blood.
What's up, Fanon? What's up, OG?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I was just running behind, man. I had to try to get some stuff done. I got some stuff, tried to get some stuff done early, and I looked at the clock, and I had remembered that I forgot to send you the link.
Time crept up on you.
Crept up on me, man. You know what it is. I'm lazy. What can I say? Yeah, so we're waiting for some people come on in the building. What's going on, Mr. Prado in the building, man? What's going on, sir? Mr. Tran, Walter Tran, how are you? Joseph Robinson, I'm good, bro. I am good, brother. And you? I can't complain, man. I can't complain about it. I really can't complain about a thing, man. Life is good. Life is good. We had some good fights last night. We had some good fights yesterday. I did get to watch all the fights this weekend, Blood, so I'm prepared today. Did you get a chance to see them all?
I saw I saw the majority of the fights.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The first one was that Zhang, man. That Zhang and Joyce. Ooh, Lord, yes, bro. Sir. Hey, real quick. Hey, Daryl McKinney, man. Thank you for. Hey, I think I'm getting feedback from you.
You getting feedback from me?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
No, I'm not anymore though. Hey, Daryl McKinney. Hey, thank you, Daryl McKinney. Thank you for sponsoring, man. He said $20 for the support of the OG Boxing Talk. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man. Let me hit him with this gong, man, to say thank you. What's going on, Mr. Lindo? And what's going on, Lone Wolf? Kevin Wells, what's going on with you, sir? Hope you're well. Yeah, man. So Joe Joyce, the juggernaut, got juggernauted. He broke that. Man, what'd you think of the fight, man? What'd you think of that one? Oh, Blood, you're on mute. Blood.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm talking to you on mute. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Man, I enjoyed the fight, man, last night. Well, it was yesterday, I guess, because it was in the UK. But Joe Joyce got knocked out, man. He tried to change his strategy some, but eventually, man, he ran into that right hand, man. Nice right hand by Zhang. He took Joe Joyce out, man. 1-punch knockout. It was beautiful. He set him up and he took him out, man. Most of us predicted that it would be another victory for Zhang. And he did just that, man. Clear. He did it quicker than what I thought he would, too. It was even easier this time around and did it right in front of Joe Joyce's hometown crowd and everything. Because he went over to the UK with it. Hey, you know what I thought was crazy, Fanon? I heard that 50 million people watched it in China. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
50 million, man. Wow.
If it's on public television, then you're going to get that. Because they got 50 million people. How many people they got there? 2 billion or something? They got 1 billion people there, huh? That's a big old spot, man. Yeah, man. I thought that was good, man. I think Zhang. Well, first, man, that just goes to tell me how right I was when I told you that I wasn't that, Danny Dubois. I think Danny Dubois is going to get the same treatment. What's up with these UK heavyweights, man? I thought they were running what's going on, Big Block, EB Sweatlock? What's going on, man? Strap season in Egypt. Say good morning, fellas. Just rewatch the highlights. Let the service begin. Yeah, man, it's tough on them UK heavyweights right now, man. Kind of tough on them. You got Fury with everybody else, man. 5 years ago, they were running the heavyweight division. Now it seems like almost all of them have, except for Tyson Fury, have lost. How do you think that bodes for UK boxing, man? For UK heavyweight boxing. Rise podcast in the building. What's going on, man? We got a conversation coming up with Rise when he can get on. Did you hear that, man? You there?
Yo.
Yeah, do you miss what I said or something?
No, I heard what you said. You said
just like what does it mean like
for the UK? I'm having some problems with my computer. Hold on. But
no problem.
You said what do I think this does for UK boxing, right?
Yeah, man, I'll give you my opinion. It's like I just remember a few years ago when Anthony Joshua was really at the top, and they had the 3 belts, and there were the fights going on between he and Carlos Takam and I know Joseph Parker's not a UK fighter, but he's from New Zealand. Joseph Parker and who else was getting? Oh, Dillian White, right? Just like it's just funny, man, how time goes on, man. Yeah, Chisora. You got Dillian White got stopped like multiple times. You've had Joyce, who was coming up behind has been stopped multiple times. You got Dubois has been stopped multiple times. That heavyweight division is just so volatile, man. Just so volatile. And I think there's just a lot of parity in that division, man, with the exception of maybe Tyson Fury, because I don't know about him and Alexander Usyk, even though I think I'd favor him to beat Alexander Usyk. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, man. It'd be funny if the guy that really comes out on top of that winds up being the Ukrainian.
It's possible. It's an old man division too, man. It seems like everybody up in the heavyweight division, they talked about that yesterday too, is over the age of 35, which I think is crazy. And if they're not over the age of 35, they're right around 34, 35 years old. All of these guys, we could remember when they were young a few years ago, Joshua and Deontay Wilder and those guys.
Yeah.
And now these guys are kicking 40 in the butt, man. Time goes by pretty fast, don't it, Fanon?
Man, it really does.
It goes by pretty fast.
It really does. And them young dudes coming up behind, man. But the guys coming up behind them at heavyweight, like, I don't even know how old Wojciech is. Like, not Wojciech. What's his name? Hergovich. Wojciech is that one.
Hergovich is like 33. He's one of the younger guys, but he's like 33 or 34 years old.
Wow. So the only what were the younger ones you have? The younger ones
you have Big Baby Anderson. He's a young fighter. Guys like Dubois.
Danny Dubois, Danny Dubois are pretty young.
Because even Frank Sanchez, he's like 30 or something, and he could be 32.
That's a mystery horse right there. Frank Sanchez. I think Frank Sanchez's problems for a lot of these dudes. I'll definitely take him over Joe Joyce. I'll take him over, man. Like even when Jared Anderson said he wants Frankie Sanchez. I'm like, man, I don't know. Do you really want Frankie Sanchez?
He beat F.A. Ajagba too.
Man, he mopped Ife Ajagba. And ever since
then, it's one of the younger guys.
Exactly.
There's not really a whole lot to.
Go ahead, I'm listening. I'm sorry.
There's not really a whole lot to look forward to as far as the young heavyweights, other than Big Baby Anderson. Even that guy, what's his name, Makhmudov or something like that. The guy, the Russian who's up in Canada now.
Makhmudov
Makhmudov, yeah, him. Even that guy's like 34 years old. All of these guys are older guys, man.
Man, that's wild, man.
What do you think is next for Zhang? He called out Tyson Fury. A lot of people were saying, "Hey, what about Deontay Wilder?"
Oh, Deontay Wilder and Zhang?
Yeah.
If Zhang is willing to come to the United States, but Zhang's not in the WBC rankings, I don't think. Well, I think actually Deontay's in all the rankings now. I think Zhang is most likely set for Usyk. think he's most likely set for Usyk. And I'm telling you, that's an ugly ass fight for Usyk. That's a big old boy, man. Big old southpaw matchup. I think Zhang is a highly skilled southpaw to boot. So I think that's a tough fight, but it's a good fight. And I think Zhang deserved it. I think Zhang deserved it. I think Zhang deserves it. As far as Deontay, man, I think Deontay's still going to wind up getting that WBC belt because I think Tyson Fury is going to do something and drop that belt pretty soon. Because that fight, they're not in. What's the guy's name? Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
I mean, if he fights that guy and he gets a big payday on that fight and he doesn't fight Usyk after that, I just don't see Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury very well may not be around. And then you have fights like Deontay Wilder, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Deontay Wilder. Yeah, it's funny, man. But Zhang Wilder would be fun. I think that'd be a good fight for Wilder, depending on what his chin is, because it's so big and so heavy. There's a chance he very well may have a good chin. You know, in the southpaw stance, that could be difficulties for Wilder. I would probably still take Wilder because, you know, your ass could wind up going to sleep, you know, with him. But I know I think Zhang is legitimate. I think Zhang is a legitimate challenger for anybody. But
the only thing is he's 40 though. He's 40. Yeah. He's one of the older ones.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is one of the older guys.
Time is running. And whatever happened with the Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder thing? Are they still going to fight? Or?
Oh, they said that it would be. They're now looking at it for. Last I heard, for like February, April, or May of next year. Which honestly, man, I just think Eddie Hearn and those guys don't want that fight. Because dude, I don't believe it. I don't believe they want the fight. I think they'll talk about the fight, but I don't think they really want to put Anthony Joshua in there. I think Anthony Joshua is going to probably stay away from Deontay till this is like his last little bit he can get out of him. You know, that's what I see. Because he said that maybe they'll have it for like Vegas or whatever. They believe that they could make the fight either in New York or in Vegas, but just depends on how much they can get out of Anthony Joshua. That's my thing. That's what it looks like to me, anyway. You know, but I hopefully we'll get to see it. I just want Deontay Wilder to fight, like just fight anybody at this point in time.
Yeah, he does need to get active again, I think.
Yeah, just fight again, man.
And I'd just like to see the unification bout, man. We get that unification bout. That's something we need because we haven't had a undisputed champion in over 20 years now.
Yeah, since Lennox Lewis, for that little bit of time that Lennox Lewis was undisputed.
Exactly.
Little bit of time that he was undisputed. But for sure, man, I would love to see that, man. I think that if you get, I just think that it's coming towards an end for Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, but he's a really great fighter. I just don't know what it really is going to mean for like Tyson Fury's like really for his career. The fact that he's just his title, like him winning the title, gold. Him defending the title, it's just. This is something I just think he absolutely positively needs to do is fight Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk, though, man, what do you think? We had that discussion about the Hall of Fame and all of that stuff. Man, yeah. I think Alexander Usyk, man, I think Alexander Usyk's a lock. I think I don't think we may have missed him, but I think Alexander Usyk's probably a lock for that. What's going on?
He's a lock.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me get this. Man, you're from Money Brown. Can't be, man. Money Brown ain't sure. Do you send the link to Money Brown?
I didn't send it to him.
Oh, okay, man. Let me put this link in the chat in case one of y'all want to jump on, man. Y'all are definitely invited. If Money Brown comes around, there you go. But all right, man. But so we talked about that one. Let's talk about something else, man, that is we got coming up next week, man, which is Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. And the 100 pawn flipped Money Brown. What you talking about? What do you think about this fight coming up, man? First, man, go ahead.
I can't wait, man. Go ahead, though. Finish what you were saying.
Man, I just want to. I'm looking at this. I did a video earlier today, but I don't want to try to talk about it too much. But man, I was looking at this. I'm looking at this 168-pound division, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, that there's just so many things can take place at that division. If these guys, now that basically everybody in that division, or the people that even want to fight the division, are all on, or are basically all fighting on Showtime. You've got Jermell and Canelo. You've got Benavidez and Andrade. You have Terence Crawford saying that he wants to. You have Terence Crawford saying that he wants to move up. All of these things can be taking place in a weight class, bro, that is like, ironically, is the same weight class where he had that Super 6 tournament all those years ago when Andre Ward and Mikkel Kessler and Carl Froch and what's his name? Abika. Saki Obika, and all those guys. Who else was in there? Was Glennoff Johnson in there? I don't think Glennoff Johnson was in there. Glennoff Johnson, the Road Warrior.
No, he was at light heavyweight.
He was okay. Yeah, he was a light heavyweight. So who else was in that? Oh, Arthur Abrams was in that. All of those fights, and it took place on Showtime. Where all of those 168-pound fighters wound up fighting each other. But now you could have like an elevated version of that, man, going on at 160, or going on 168 pounds, man. So, Andre Durrell. You're right, Samuel Harper. Andre Durrell was there. Real quick, man. My guy, Adrian Molina of Puerto Rico. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you for that support. Said, hope all is well. Blessings to our boxing family. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So what do you think about that 168-pound division? First of all, what you think is going to happen in this fight, man?
Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me correct myself. I do think Glenn Johnson joined that tournament late at one point.
Okay.
I think he came down from 175. I think you're right. But as far as this fight, I think a lot of people are underestimating Jermell Charlo. And I'm hearing people say that he doesn't deserve a fight with Canelo Alvarez. But people seem to forget that this guy's an undisputed champion. And I know he's coming up 2 weight classes. But let's not forget that Manny Pacquiao once came up 2 weight classes and beat the hell out of Oscar De La Hoya. I think if you're a solid fighter, you're a solid fighter, man. I know that some of them, there was other fights for both guys, right? There was a few stones left. They didn't turn over all the stones, but I think it's a really good fight, man. I think that Jermell Charlo is going to do much better than people think. I wouldn't be surprised if he even went in there and beat Canelo Alvarez, but I'm going to favor Canelo Alvarez because he's been up at that weight longer than Jermell Charlo. He's more used to being up in the heavier weight divisions, but I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight. I'm going to give Canelo the slight advantage, and I think he'll win a decision. I don't think he's going to knock out Jermell Charlo, though. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I think it's kind of like a 55-45 type fight. If Jermell Charlo utilizes some movement in the fight and he tries to keep it long range, mid to long range, I think that he'll have a better chance. I don't think he should stay in the pocket with Canelo. Box Canelo, fight off of his jab, man. Fight smart. I think he could win the fight. Because Canelo has problems against movers, man. You remember Austin Trout did pretty good against Canelo Alvarez, man. Eris Landalore. Charlo could do some of those things when he wants to.
Caleb Plant did for a while.
Caleb Plant did pretty good for a while, right?
Ran out of gas.
So I think that if as long as he utilizes a lot of movement, don't stay there. I think he has a really good chance, man. I think he has a chance.
Yeah.
What about you? Who you going with? I want to hear your prediction. I'm saying so. When we're here next week, I got Canelo decision. So
I got Canelo. If I have to do it, I got Canelo decision. If I had to take one, but I also think it could be Jermell. Like, it's a close fight, man. It's a close fight. Let me put it this way. Like, hey, first of all, T. Wells said, salute Unc Fanon and Blood Boxing. Salute chat. Yes, sir, man. What's going on, T. Wells? What's going on, man? I think that I mean, look, I gotta favor Canelo because he's been at the weight class longer, and he's a very, very accomplished fighter. He's been at at the top of the sport for a long time, so it's kind of hard to go against him. I don't think that this, like Kamal Oz would say, that the fight is fool's gold. I'm excited about the fight, and I think he's got a real chance. I think Charles got a real chance to win, and I think that he can win. I think he has the ability to win because he does have good movement. And you saw his consistent footwork against Brian Castano in both fights, where he was consistently fighting on the outside, fighting on the back foot against Brian Castano, and he wound up being able to, I think the risk for him is getting behind in the early part of the fight. I think that is a risk. He's going to have to win. Like, I think it's very important for him to win the first 3 or 4 rounds, and to get those and get some momentum in the scorecards and just get some momentum in the fight. I just don't think he can drop any of the first several rounds. But if he plays it smart and he tries to outbox him, I think that he definitely has an opportunity to win the fight in a way that I would score it. Now, is he going to be able to win the fight on the judges' scorecards with Canelo? Man, I don't know, man, because I swear, man, he got some real funny scorecards going on with Canelo Alvarez, man. So, and I think that very well may continue in this fight, where it's just that Jermell can come away will get stuck coming away with a moral victory. You know what I mean? But I mean, I have the same thing that I think if I would lean towards happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jermell got him. I wouldn't. Canelo Alvarez has not looked good in his last 3 fights. He didn't look good against Bivol because he lost with Bivol. He didn't look that good against Gennady Golovkin in the 3rd fight, or the fight with what's my man's name? John Ryder. I don't think he looked good in any of those fights.
He didn't look very good against. And Jermell Charlo did say too that he does plan on boxing Canelo too. He said that.
Yeah, so I think that's the smartest thing because it can do that. That's what he is. If you remember in Jermell Charlo's career, he originally was a boxer. Like originally, that's how he went about his business. And then later on, he started stepping towards people more and hitting them with bigger shots, man. And he also, and there's another advantage I think Jermell has, and that Jermell has fought a lot more different styles of fighters recently than Canelo Alvarez has. I think that they have, he's fought a variety of types of guys. So there's like a radical difference between the 2 fights he had with Tony Harrison and the 2 fights that he had with Brian Castano. And both of those guys, like Tony Harrison's a very good boxer. Somebody that fights on his back foot very well. Somebody has a very good jab. He's he's a sharp, slippery fighter. And Jermell had to figure out how to overcome that. And then he had a guy who fights similar to, in a come forward style like Brian Castano. And honestly, I think both those guys are very underrated fighters, man. Very underrated fighters.
Hey,
I think, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your point. I'm sorry.
Also, guys like another guy that I think is a really underrated fighter that he beat. He's clearly not, upper echelon fighter, man, was Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin is proven that he's a very, very good fighter, man. There's and Jermell Charlo also beat Austin Trout, right? Austin Trout, and I do believe he knocked him down a few times. I think it wound up going to a decision. But, other than Erislandy Lara and Jared Hurd, who didn't fight him and had lost to wound up losing to J-Rock. I mean, dude, he fought and beat almost all of the top and obviously his brother Jermell, the top guys in that 154-pound division. So I just think that he's battle tested. He's battle ready. You know what I mean? He's fought for Undisputed before, right? He's been on the stage something like that before. So, he's fighting a very live underdog, man. And he's a big dude too. I've been next to Jermell, man. I've walked right by Jermell. And Jermell he's a little bit smaller than me, but not noticeably smaller than me. I think he's like 5'11". I would put him somewhere around, I'd guess that he's around 5'11", maybe 6 feet tall, a little short of 6 feet tall, and kind of a broad dude. Broad. He's a big guy, man. He had a hat on at the time though, but he's a big guy, man. That's my take. That's why I'm saying, man, this thing could be something funny, but it doesn't really seem like. Honestly, man, it doesn't seem. This is funny for Canelo, man. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of buzz around the fight though. Like not a lot of interest. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of buzz around that fight, man.
You're right about that. You know what? Let me ask you something. So the winner of this fight, if Canelo wins, he just could move on. But if Charlo wins, it's a rematch clause, right?
I would suspect that there is, and it doesn't even have to be a rematch clause. If Canelo wants a rematch, Jermell Charlo is going to give him that rematch for sure because of the money that he's going to make. But Canelo. If Canelo wins, that's it. That's it. He can move on. And if Jermell wins, it'll be a rematch for Canelo because those are the terms that were in there for the fight when Canelo moved up and fought Dimitri Bivol. But shoot, he didn't rematch Dimitri Bivol, so don't necessarily know whether or not he's going to rematch him. Even if there is a rematch clause, whether he would do it.
It's going to be crazy if Charlo wins. The way everything is going to fall in place is going to be pretty crazy, man. Because all those belts are going to be freed up at 154 pounds. You'll probably have a rematch with Canelo. It's going to tie them two guys up for a long time, man. But it really will shake things up, bro, if Charlo wins that fight. And I want him to win. I want him to win the fight. Even though I'm not picking, I'm going for him.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely going for Charlo. I think that shit would be electrifying. But it's going to have if Jermell Charlo wins, though, that has reverberations all over boxing, man. Like, especially with the stuff at 147, especially the stuff at 147, and what Terence Crawford does and what Terence Crawford's options are. Because if Jermell wins, that's a rematch, right? With Canelo more than likely, and that more than likely is going to limit. Terence Crawford's not going to be able to get a Canelo fight, and so then, what is he going to do? Right. And if Jermell wins and he drops all those belts at 154, then it's a free for all at 154. So there is no Undisputed about to pop off at 154. If Jermell stays at 168, which I don't see, and which I see him doing, if he was to beat Canelo Alvarez, I don't see him winning 168, then dropping all the way down to 154, which means the WBC, the IBF, the WBO is already moving. But the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC, those things definitely have to be going. They definitely have to go somewhere. What's your take on it?
Well, if Jermell wins the fight, man, right? Terence Crawford is first of all, he has to fight Errol Spence again. I do believe he's going to beat Errol Spence again. He'll have to take another fight in between the time while waiting to see the outcome of that whole thing. Even if those guys would even fight him, we don't know for sure. I would think that somebody like a Terence Crawford or an Errol Spence would probably have to focus on 154, man. There's the 154-pound division there. There's always the option of a Boots Ennis fight for the winner of those guys. There's some options out there. It's definitely going to throw a lot of things off if Jermell Charlo wins the fight, especially for Terence Crawford. What do I want to see happen?
Yeah, what do you want to see?
I would like for Jermell Charlo to win the fight and fight Terence Crawford. But in the meantime, he's going to have to fight Canelo Alvarez in a rematch. So I think that I would prefer to see Terence Crawford fight either Boots Ennis or Tim Tszyu if he gets through Errol Spence again successfully. If he's going to go to 154, I'd like to see him fight Tim Tszyu. If he stays at 147, Boots Ennis.
I don't know, man. I would, if I could make things happen the way that I wanted them to happen, I think I would do it. Assume he gets past Terence Crawford, that he gets past Errol Spence. There's a whole different conversation about what I think Errol should do. Because I think Errol should. There's something specific that I think Errol should do. But I would say I would prefer Jermell. Like, if he goes to 154, Terence Crawford goes to 154. That's going to be a lot of nothing, really. I don't think. It's a lot of nothing because it's like it's a weight class that is definitely rebuilding itself. So you have Tim Tszyu, and I don't really know if Tim Tszyu is like, I think Tim Tszyu is less proven than Jaron Ennis is. I don't see how Tim Tszyu is. I don't think Tim Tszyu is proven at all. So I'm not really particularly interested in a Tim Tszyu. I would prefer whoever it is going to be at 154 pounds. Like, I want fighters like at 154 pounds. I'm looking for Xander Zayas, like guys like Xander Zayas to step up and start getting some shot. Like Xander Zayas getting a shot at if they think he's ready. You know, the top rank, the 154 pounder from Top Rank. I think Xander Zayas.
I know you're talking about. Yes, I have watched the fight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like Xander Zayas at 154 pounds and seeing him get in there with some of those guys. And who else is at 154? Like I said, it's like 154 pounds already been cleared out, and it's like in a rebuilding phase. And if Terence Crawford,
Mendoza's there too. He's going to fight Tim Tszyu though.
Yeah, Mendoza's the guy that beat Fundora, right? So you got Mendoza, you got Tim Tszyu, you got Fundora, Erickson Lubin, who I love as a person, I love as a fighter. Erickson Lubin, I think he's like a very, very good, at this point in time, I think he's a gatekeeper, but I like watching him fight. I think he's a good fighter. But that's all. There's nothing now that all of that particular era of 154 pounders are kind of gone. The Jermell, the Jermall, the Trout, Lara, Hurd, J-Rock. Who else was there besides them? J-Rock. You had
Tony Harrison.
Tony Harrison. Those guys, now that those guys are all kind of gone, now I just say that if Terence Crawford is going to move up and he feels like he can beat Canelo, just go there. And then so if you can beat him, you can beat David Benavidez. You can beat, if he can campaign at 168, and because there's bigger fights there. Mr. All Access, how can I help you, brother? What's up?
What's going on, champ? How you feeling for now?
Man, I can't complain, bro. Hey, by the way, man, this is my guy, Blood. If you never met Senior is out of Upton Gym in Baltimore, Maryland. Gervonta Davis's camp works up out of that gym. I don't know if you guys met each other.
No, I've never met him. But
yeah,
nice
man.
To meet you, my brother.
Always
Blood. Very knowledgeable dude, man. So make sure you guys go subscribe to my guy out here who is at the Rise podcast. We don't have for too long, so we're gonna shift this conversation just a little bit because we wanted to ask. Okay, so yesterday, all kind of rumors running around about your boy, man. Is it okay to ask you?
All I can give you is what I know.
I know, because I'm only gonna ask because I know you're the one that asked the question. You asked the question. The Great Rise podcast asked Calvin Ford, the trainer of Gervonta Davis. What's next for Gervonta? And Coach Ford said, all I can tell you is going to be big. Then there was talk that came out about him fighting Keith Thurman at a catch weight of 145. You had conversations about maybe he could be targeting Teofimo Lopez at 140. Man, from somebody that's close to the situation, what do you want? What do you want? What's pure cap in your opinion? And what do you think can take place, man, for the great Gervonta Davis, bro?
For me, because I even poked a little bit more. They told us.
They told you?
They told us.
Okay.
If you listen to my interview, then Jay Hardcore over there, Hardcore Boxing News, he had dropped an interview also where he interviewed Kenny. They told us who I believe it is. They told us.
Oh, okay. I gotta go look at that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta use your
or I can't get it out of it. You just know.
You gotta use your context. I can't get no confirmation on it, but
okay, don't get no confirmation on it.
I was listening to what they were saying, paying attention, and is you gotta add 1 + 1, and it's only going to equal 2, not 3 or 4.
All right, okay.
If it's what I believe they saying, it's definitely gonna shake up the world.
Shake up the world.
Yeah, a lot of people gonna be happy. A lot of people gonna be getting what they want. Vegas gonna go crazy.
What do you say?
Vegas gonna go crazy again.
Vegas go crazy.
I think Tank fights in Vegas from here on out, though.
Oh man, Tank's. All right, Blood. If you had to guess a fight, I'm gonna tell you who I think the boxing world will go crazy. I think they go crazy over Teofimo. That's who I think they go crazy over. Because I don't think it's Shakur. I don't think it's not Shakur. It's not Devin. It's not Frank. It's unless you fight Mayweather, Floyd.
What weight Tank fight at?
He fighting 135, bro.
Coach Kenny iterates consistently that Tank is a 135 pounder, so you can eliminate everybody that's not at 135.
Oh, that's Loma.
It has to be Shakur, man.
No, that's Loma. That's Loma.
Oh, Loma would be good.
That'd be Loma. It'd be Gary too. Russell. But Gary wouldn't shake up the world. The only one, Shakur fighting somebody, unless he dumps out that fight.
Hey.
Can't be Frank. Frank's not going to shake up the world. It's not going to shake up Vegas.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Shake up Vegas. The only person that's going to shake up Vegas is Lomachenko. That's it. And if it's Teo's not at 135, I mean Teo's at 140.
He's at 140.
Man.
Oh, he's just having a good time leaving us hanging out there, man.
Okay, I'm giving you this is what I'm going off of. I'm giving it to you.
Hey, man, that's wow. Lomachenko, I'm gonna say he's a 135. Unless that little itty bitty ass dude jumps up there to 135.
Well, that's going that will fight that fight would definitely shake up the world. The Inoue fight?
Yeah, the Inoue would definitely shake up the world if he did that.
That would go far.
It's not Inoue.
But it
can't be Inoue.
He can't jump up that far.
He can't jump up. So the only ones who can take up the world.
Just sometimes you gotta rewatch something to really catch everything you need to catch.
But it's in the making and it's big. Is it for this year?
All I can go is off of what Coach Calvin said in that interview and what Coach Kenny said in the interview he did with J Hardcore Boxing News.
All right, I gotta check that shit out.
That's all I can go off of.
Huh.
Sean
O'Malley is not a 135 pound. That's not a boxing match.
Cause if they give it to me, I'm giving it to the people. So they ain't gonna give it to me.
What do you want to see though? What do you want to see?
What do I want to see?
Don't answer, man. I'm trying to get you to give something up. I'm looking at your facial. I'm gonna tell you ahead of time. I'm trying to look at your facial expressions. If you smile too bright, I'm gonna be like, "That's it."
Listen. You'll never get me like that. I want to see. Everybody know the fight I want to see. I want to see him and Devin. But I don't think Devin. I was looking at a picture of Devin. I don't think he can make 135. Devin looked like he blew up.
Yeah, man. All these dudes look big like that, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like Terence Crawford can make 147 anymore. Think he's gonna come back down to 147. I want to see the fight that I want to see. God dang, man. What's going on, Skills from New Orleans? Honestly, man, I kind of want Shakur is the one that is like. Shakur, I think, is an in-game fight, man. But Vasily Lomachenko, I think Vasily Lomachenko is a fight that would be really big. And it would be good timing. It'd be good timing for
I wouldn't mind a Loma fight too, though.
Yeah, I would like a Lomachenko fight, man. I think that would be. What do you think, Blood?
It's a very competitive fight, man. Lomachenko, he's a well-respected fighter, Olympic pedigree, amateur champion. I think it would be a big fight. It would be great to see him fight Lomachenko. The fights I would like to see Tank fight the most that are at 135, if we have to go 135, is either Shakur Stevenson or Lomachenko. Simple as that.
I think T.O. can make 135, though. I think he could make 135.
Yeah, I think he could too.
So that's why I didn't take T.O. out of the conversation, because I think he can make 135, especially for that bag.
Man, that's the only dude that's honestly, man, that's the only shit that makes sense to me, bro. Like, the only thing that makes sense to me that really fits that is T.O.
Yeah, because I like Shakur Tito. I like Shakur Tito, especially after that interview he did.
Shakur who?
Shakur Stevenson. After the interview he did. I like
Shakur. But Shakur is
too. But
I mean, it just would depend whether or not Shakur was going to actually, whether Shakur is going to go through with the Edwin De Los Santos fight and the timing of it.
But because that's a fight though. That's a fight though. And that's the name that everybody, you know what I mean? He can beat Tank, all this. So that's a possibility too.
I like any one of those fights, man. Honestly, I like any one of those fights. I like the attitude of I like the attitude of Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. Really, I just think that the one thing I know for sure ain't taking place is Keith Thurman at 145 pounds. That's the one thing that was said that I'm like, man, ain't no way.
You want me to tell you why you take Keith Thurman out the equation?
Why is that?
That's a boots fight. That's a boots fight. So why would you put him up against Tank and you taking away a fight off your table? That's a boots fight.
Yeah, it is. It's a boots fight, or it could be a Terence Crawford, but Terence said he's not taking it.
That's what I'm
saying.
Russell
Jr. Would Gary Russell Jr. shake up Vegas? I don't think Gary Russell Jr. would shake up Vegas. I don't.
Nah.
The layoff and the fact that he's not been at 135, I don't think so. I want to see that though. I ain't gonna lie. I really would love to see that. But I root for Gary, man. Like I like Gary. So I like Gary, man. I root for Gary, man. What's wrong with Gary, man?
I'm walking off the stage.
I like Gary. I do. I like Gary as a fighter, man. I don't think he's gonna be Tank, but you know,
if root for who you want.
What'd you say?
I said you can root for who you want.
Let me tell you why I say what I mean by I root for him. I mean I root for him to get a big payday. That's what I mean. Yeah, I want to see the man get a big payday. I think Gary Russell Jr. spent a lot of times in his career with guys that wouldn't fight him at 126. And I want to see him at the end of his career get a big payday, man. I do. I mean, I'm not silly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what Tank is. I know that, that's for now, would you pick Gary over Tank? Well, no, I would not. Ruben Louis and Langford, no, I would not pick Gary Russell Jr. over Tank. Gary Russell Jr. is 36 years old, 35, 36 years old? And he's a 126 pounder.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I would definitely would not take Gary Russell Jr. over Gervonta Davis. All I'm saying is that sometimes I want to see people get fights, man. That's what I'm saying.
No, I could dig it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not saying I'm like, I hope Gary beats Gervonta. And no, I'm not even in that. I like. First of all, I like Gary as a fighter. I've always liked Gary as a fighter, man. I think he's one of the more underrated fighters. Or Gary Antoine Russell. Gary Antoine Russell, I want to see with Devin Haney. What do you think about Gary Antoine Russell as a fighter, Blood?
I like him, man. He's at 140 pounds. I think he's a really good fighter, man. I'd like to see him matched up against some of the other 140 pounders, though. But I like him, though. I like Gary Antoine Russell quite a bit. As far as Tank, I mean, the only other guys I could see that if it was 135 would be Cam Bosa's or Frank Martin. I mean, they're the only other guys that are in the top 10, and that's not going to shake up Vegas. You're shaking your head, so we already know that's off the table. So it's either Teofimo if he moves down it's either that, or it's either going to be Shakur Stevenson or Lomachenko. It's one of those three. I could tell by the brother right here, by his actions right here, the way he looking. It's one of them three guys, man. It's one of them three.
That's where I'm at.
That's the only one. Those are the only things. The biggest shakeup of Vegas is Teo. For me, I think Teo is the biggest one because Teo brings in a Hispanic fan base. So there's the Teo, that part of Teo. That's why I think there's a chance that it's Teo. But Teo's got to come down to 140, come down to 135.
What nationality is Shakur?
Man, Shakur's a Negro.
What nationality is they pushing for Shakur?
Oh, he's from the United States. They say he's Puerto Rican. I ain't buying it.
I'm just saying, like you realize they've been pushing that though for Shakur.
The Puerto Ricans,
they've been pushing it. You see him with the flag and everything. They've been pushing.
Dog, that's what makes me. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't be giving Devin Haney dang near no slack. But when he carries that, he would walk out with that Puerto Rican flag, bro. I'm calling 100%. I'm gonna put on a Devin Haney t-shirt, bro, and run down the street with it. Man, if you don't stop with that, he's Puerto Negro. That's what he is, Puerto Negro. Man, that man popped up Puerto Rican last month. Now I know that he's Puerto Rican. I know his father was Puerto Rican. Rest in peace to his father. Rest in peace to his father.
I'm just saying they've been pushing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the best. What's the best? The best fight though is Shakur. I think the best fight is Shakur. Of all of the fights, the best fight is Shakur. I think.
No, Loma just whooped on Devin.
Yeah, but he took an L. He took an L, man. I think he took an L, though, man.
He didn't whoop on him. He didn't whoop on him. That was a close fight.
Come on, Blood.
Who you think won that fight, Blood? Who you think won that fight?
Between Devin and Lomachenko?
Yeah.
I thought Devin won the fight.
But Loma ain't
I did a film study on it.
Loma ain't whoop on him?
No. I don't think he whooped him. Not whooped him. I wouldn't put
He whooped upside his head, though.
Fight.
He definitely whooped upside his head. He gave him a straightener. He gave that man a texturizer, bro. He came in with that, bro. There was pieces of that shit all that way. He definitely chin checked his ass a bunch of times. But man, I don't know if Lomachenko want that payday. If they want that payday, if it's time to sell out Lomachenko now,
it's Lomachenko. Fanon, it's Lomachenko, bro. Fanon, it's Lomachenko.
You sure?
I think
look,
so,
bro.
Yeah.
If it's Lomachenko, first of all, Lomachenko said no to Shakur. So let's not do the content. Let's look at this way. He said no to Shakur. He's not getting that fight. He is ripe for getting sold. He's ripe for getting sold down the river. He is the perfect candidate for a top-ranked fighter to get sold down the river. You know how Top Rank does it when they build you up, they build you up, they build you up, and then towards the end, they wind up selling you. He is, as far as Bob Arum's point of view, yeah, dog. It's time to sell Loma. Because what's Loma going to do? Loma going to go fight George. Who do you want to fight? George Kambosos? He ain't going to make no money off George Kambosos fight, really. He already lost to Teo. He already lost to Devin.
Oh yeah, Ryan Garcia got a big fight coming up that they making too. That's what Oscar put out the other day. They trying to make a big fight with Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I think they were talking about. I think they were talking about Teofimo. They were talking about They were hitting towards a Teofimo. They were talking about a Teofimo at 140.
You think Ryan try to go make 135 for another payday like he just got?
For Tank? Hell no. He better build that shit up and see if he can get it again. No. Now I definitely think it's Lomachenko.
It's Lomachenko, man.
I'm just poking around. I don't know.
Hey, don't poke around too much, dog, because I'm looking at you. Man. But nah, because Teofimo was talking about. But let's just act for a second. Man, that fight right there is really good for both of those people, bro. Yeah, that Floyd. The reason I thought it could be Teofimo Lopez first is it also is around the fact that, dude, that's a really big fight, bro, for Gervonta Teofimo. Teofimo Lopez is more popular than people give him credit for.
Yeah, I think we should have. I think we should have. If Tio wouldn't have lost, I think we would have had that fight.
If you could have got by. Somebody said, Truth Hurt says, stop acting like Tio ain't the truth. Who said that Tio ain't the truth? I know Tio's the truth. Tio's just inconsistent. And Tio going to get chin checked. I think all of these guys are the truth, man. That weight class got a lot of really good fighters, but that Lomachenko fight.
Should Tio dad step out the way? Should Tio dad step out the way for a little while?
Oh,
you can answer that, Blood. I'll give that to you. What do you think?
Shoot, Tio Senior, man, he need to step his ass out the way. Shit. Tio Senior, shit, I'm tired of him anyway.
Hey, real quick, man. Much love. Thank you for the dollar holler, Trey. Appreciate you. Said love the channel. Thank you, man.
I don't think none of them could beat Tank when it come down to it. I still think Tank is the best one out of all of them. I don't think not one of them could beat Tank Davis. I would favor him to beat all those guys.
Yeah.
I think far as training, Tio dad need to step out the way. But far as like when it's fight time, he helps sell the hell out of them fights.
Oh, yeah. That's was my take on it.
Yeah.
Like Teofimo Senior. Yeah, I think he's good for like all the noise and the drama around it. I mean, as far as the training, I'm neither here nor there on it.
He sucks. He don't even give him good instructions in between rounds, man. He need to get somebody else to bring in the camp.
I feel the same way
for the training he does.
I feel the same way about Devin and Bill. I think Bill got Devin to the point where though Devin, now it's time for Devin to step up and start being vocal about what he want to do and stuff like that. And Bill, you know what I mean, do what he do, but let Devin, you know what I mean, you the man now. You say you the man now, you gotta walk it and talk it.
Yeah, man, pretty much. I think Teofimo, I don't know, man, because first, I think your family is important, and I think consistency is like important. Mm-hmm. So, like, I think a situation that is similar to that is what's going on, like the talk that was out there around Errol and Derrick James, and whether or not Errol would continue to training with Derrick James or not, which I don't think really is going to wind up being much. I think obviously he's going to stay there. But if you look at what Jermell Charlo did with Juan Guzman, mm-hmm. I think if you bring on somebody that's a new set of eyes or somebody that can give you a different vantage point or bring fresh air to the training, I think that is a good thing, man. I don't think you really want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, man. When you have somebody that's taking you, to a certain point in your career and you've gotten to a certain point in your career, I don't know, man, about you just jumping out there and switching up. Because I thought that dang near got Tim Bradley killed. Mm-hmm. When Tim Bradley jumped in there with who was I think it was Teddy Atlas he got in there with. Let Teddy Atlas train him for that what's that man's name? Ruslan Provodnikov fight. Mm-hmm. And when he's trying to be more exciting, and damn near got that man killed in there. I like the just modify and train, just modify what you're doing to make improvements.
Bring some extra eyes in.
What'd you say?
Bring some extra eyes in is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, man. I mean, you've had even like with Gervonta. Gervonta's had obviously had extra eyes in there because number one, he's got two trainers. He's got Coach Kenny and he's got Coach Calvin. And then when he was with Mayweather Promotions, Floyd would share what he thought about what was going on with Gervonta as well. So, mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think it can hurt you at all from hearing what Floyd Mayweather thinks about how you're going about fighting, right? And be with the people that basically brought you up and know you specifically. So I wouldn't advocate for getting rid of his father, completely and all of that. Plus, then you got just general unhappiness that takes place in life. Like take, for example, shout out to Nonito Donaire and the drama, that they talk about going on between Nonito and his father and how his father brought him up. And then, when his father lost control over what Nonito was doing completely, how those guys kind of broke. And then, he said, Fanon, that was not Teddy Atlas. Tim just didn't listen to his corner. Yeah, but Fahim, the problem with you not listening to your corner is you may not be comfortable listening to your corner. Where somebody you're familiar with, you may be comfortable with that. You know, that's that. I mean, that's what I think, man. That's what I think. But what do you think about it, man? What do you think about? Let's switch the topics up real quick, because what do you think about as far as the rematch with Errol and Terence at 154 and 147? What's your take? What's your take, man? Hey, real quick, Soda Black, thank you for the rare support today. We got a second color in the chat. Thank you, brother. It said trainer of the year. Who you think, Kenny, Calvin, or BoMac? Oh, good question. Thank you. I get that to Blood. What do you think? Trainer of the year so far, Kenny and Calvin or BoMac?
Man, I've never put no thought into this before. Man, I don't know, man. I really don't know. All three are good, very good trainers, man.
Well, Kenny and Calvin are the same person. Like they're the same team, so they both win it together. They all train the same fighters.
I don't know. I really haven't put no thought into trainer of the year. I'd have to sit back and look at the fights again.
It's September. Of the two of them, I'll go with Kenny and Calvin. The BoMac went to jail, dog. BoMac, you can't be trainer of the year, dog. If you jump out there, man, you go to the joint, and you're not gonna be there for the guy's next fight, man. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking about that. But nah, man, I don't know, man.
My biasness goes, of course, to Kenny and Calvin, because like when you see certain things and how they tap into fighters, when you know what I mean, like certain shit you see and you just be like, that's what makes him a great coach. But BoMac put an excellent game plan together versus Errol.
Yeah, he did.
For Undisputed, that was an excellent game plan that they executed. So you know what I mean. I'm an Errol Spence fan. So it's with those two, I don't know.
Also, it depends on what happens with the Jermell. It depends on what happens with Jermell and Canelo, because you have, man, Jermell beats Canelo, that opens up Derrick James again.
Yeah, but the game plan that he had versus Bud, and when you listen to the corner, just like it wasn't like in that spot.
Yeah, but if he beats Canelo,
so you 1-1 on the year. You won one, you lost one.
3-1. He'd be 3-1.
Okay.
He'd be 3-1.
Okay, I give you the 3-1. All right, I give you them two.
I don't know who I would pick for trainer of the year for now, but I tell you what, I like Mr. Calvin though the best though. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm. I guess my bias.
What about who's Inouye's trainer?
Inouye's trainer?
Whoever his trainer is.
I don't know who his trainer is.
Gotta get that little dude to nod. Whoever it is, you gotta get that little dude to nod too. For fighter of the year, I think fighter of the year right now is Terence Crawford. I think fighter of the year is Terence Crawford so far.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, I think fighter of the year is Terence Crawford so far. But it was funny, man, because they was dang sure ready to give all that to Inoue. But Inoue and Stevie Fulton, man, that was a performance out of Inoue. Like, that was no joke, man. He did his thing against Steve Fulton Jr., man. I think that dude, if you had to do it, you had to take that. Hey, man, don't play, man. Look, dude, Coach Cuddy, my favorite too. Who's my favorite? Man, I got a bias towards Coach Calvin too. Honestly, I got a bias towards Coach Calvin.
Listen,
man. I mean, dude, Coach Calvin isn't just not what he's doing in the ring, but the way that you guys actually want to fight. Like, there's no prima donna in Gervonta.
Listen, Coach Calvin and Kenny, right?
Yeah, Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny. I'm lumping them both.
They in the gym training. They get the phone call. They gone. Shout out to the pros. Come right back from the pros, right back to the amateurs on the road, constantly up and down, wherever. They didn't. In the morning, they're in Philly. The evening, they're in DC. And lunchtime, they're in DC. At night, they're in New York or something. Like, they on the road constantly working. Amateurs, pros, and in the gym. So it's just not pro coaches, they amateur coaches too, and they doing all this, you know what I mean, on their own. So that's my bias towards Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny.
Yeah, BoMac. What does BoMac got, man? BoMac had the fight with Chris Eubank, the comeback fight over Chris Eubank, and then he has the fight with Errol and Terence. How does that weigh with the Gervonta versus Ryan? Honestly, man, I think at this point, man, I think it may, if I had to do it, it would probably go to BoMac. I'd probably do BoMac just because of the two fights, and like you said, it was an excellent game plan against Errol Spence. So, but as far as fighter of the year, I think going into the Errol and Terence fight, that fight was, man, like Ryan. I think Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis right now is an underrated win. It's an underrated win for Gervonta Davis. I think that Gervonta Davis, based off what a lot of people are talking about and a lot of people are saying, that they're not giving Gervonta the credit for the fight that he deserves for that fight. Because he just, after the fight, all of a sudden, he became a, 3 knockouts in a year don't win you fighter of the year is crazy. Who had 3 knockouts this year? I'm reading the comments. Who had three knockouts in a year doesn't win you fighter of the year? Who had 3 knockouts this year?
He's talking about Tank made a man go blind, made another man.
Oh, I fucking forgot.
One post great showing is undeniable.
Oh, I forgot. Damn, I forgot. My bad. I forgot Hector Garcia. I completely forgot Hector Garcia, man. Man, yeah, so I don't know. That Hector Garcia win is big. For me, I thought that Hector Garcia fight was big because I didn't even want to fight. Yeah, I'm sorry. Whoever said that.
Cosmic Lando.
Yeah, that's my bad. I forgot all about that. Hey, Soda Black says, shout out for Nine and Blood. Much love and respect to the Rise podcast. Smoothie King right back at you with another one. Will AJ ever set son? Will AJ ever get some nuts? Some nuts to fight Wilder? My answer is no. I don't think that he's going to find those testicles. What about you? Senior?
I thought they was talking about making that fight.
It was supposed to be in December. They moved it back the next year because the money they had. We agreed on all the terms, but we couldn't get the Saudis. The Saudis didn't, didn't do the same thing that they claimed about. I guess he wanted the Saudis to do the same thing that he wanted Al Heyman to do, was put the money in escrow. You put that whole conversation.
I think AJ passes the eyeball test with flying colors, but he gotta go down the yellow brick road to see the wizard. He ain't got no heart. That heart ain't there. That killer ain't there. It just ain't there. It ain't there. The eyeball test, oh my gosh, he off the charts. But when it comes time to, you know what I mean, I just don't see it.
Wow.
I think Wilder sleeps AJ too.
I definitely think he sleeps.
Yeah.
They fumbled on that fight. They were supposed to make that fight when AJ was undefeated. They were supposed to make that fight.
Yeah, or they should have or Deontay should have tried to, if they could have done it, maybe they would have made it after the Fury fight. But that shit they saw with Robert Helenius, man, I'm telling you, I don't get these cats that don't respect Wilder, bro. That dude flicked his freaking wrist and knocked that dude's head off. You know what I mean? That shit is, he flicked his wrist and knocked that dude's head off. And after that whooping he took in the second fight, dude, he shivered Tyson Fury in that third fight. He shivered that dude, man. Like, as in, man, there ain't no, that's a dangerous. What we gonna say, man?
I was watching that first fight the other day, and I just still don't understand how the ref ain't call that fight. He was asleep. We watched him wake up. and then the ref started counting.
Yeah,
like that fight should have been over. I think he got that first fight. Then in what one was it? The second fight? I'm still waiting to see those gloves.
put it this way. Joe Joyce, they waved that shit off as soon as Joe Joyce tried to move. If the same ref, if that would have been the same, if Tyson Fury fell the same way Joyce, any fighter that fell the way that Joe Joyce fell, it immediately got waved off. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody get hit and don't break their fall at all and just lay flat out like that, where they don't just immediately get over to grab his mouthpiece.
He was asleep
and immediately do that. But at the end of the day, they didn't do it. So, it's kind of like a lot of the speculation going on about Terence Crawford and Victor Conte. At the end of the day, they didn't do it. Terrell W said, hey, man, what's good, OGs? Give me y'all top 3 active fighters. All right, I'll go first on my top 3 active fighters. Top 3 best fighters in boxing right now are Terence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Terence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson.
How dare you, Fanon?
And Gervonta Davis. Nah, it's no order. Terence Crawford, honestly, in my top 3, in this particular order are Terence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, and Shakur Stevenson. Those are my top 3 fighters, the top 3 best fighters in boxing. I was thinking, if I could go a little bit deeper, then I would put people like Inoue. I think Inoue is close to the top of that, based off of the little men weight classes, because he just dominates some little weight classes. And maybe Usyk. I think Usyk is up towards the top. But the 3 is Terence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson. I don't put Boots up there all the way yet. I just think Boots is one of the best. I think Boots is going to very well has the ability to prove that he is the top of all of them.
I got my
one.
Man,
why you going to say how dare you? I know what Gervonta is, man. I got
my 1 and 2, but I can't put 3 together.
What about you? Think about it for a second. What's yours, Gervonta? What's yours, Blood?
I would say Terence Crawford, Tank Davis, and can I have a 3A and 3B?
Why not?
I'll probably I'm still gonna put Canelo high, man. I'm gonna put Canelo up there, and I'm also gonna put Monster Inoue. I like Monster Inoue too. The way he beat Fulton, man.
What do you say?
Coming up
Terrell
with so many different.
5. Terrell switched it up. He said, give me 5.
Okay, so I would say Crawford, Tank Davis. I would say Monster Inoue, Canelo Alvarez, and I'm not putting Usyk because he got his ass beat in that last fight.
By who?
I thought he lost that Dubois fight. Man. That body shot, man. That was a body shot.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about that.
A clean body shot, man.
He mopped that boy. He mopped that boy up. He mopped that boy up.
Man, that hell of a body shot that laid his ass down.
He mopped that boy up.
Mm-hmm.
He mopped that Euro bum up.
And then after that, I put Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, that's my 5 right there.
Man, come on, man. Y'all really think Usyk won law? You think that man Daniel Dubois won that fight because he hit him in the gonads?
That was a hell of a body shot.
Yeah, it was.
It was a nice body shot. Put his ass down.
That was a hell of a body shot.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I thought it was. Let me put it this way. I'll say, because I know Blood don't agree with it. I'm gonna say the same thing about that. If you think he lost that fight, Blood, then I'm telling you Tyson Fury lost the Deontay Wilder first fight then, because that man shouldn't have been allowed to get up. So, let me catch it with it. If that's the case, if you say Usyk lost that fight, then Tyson Fury lost that first Wilder fight. What's up, Coach Ari in the building? Man. Real quick, you got that right. So what you got to say about that, Blood? What's the difference?
Well, the difference is number one, Usyk was given all kind of time to, recover from that damn clean blow. It was a clean blow. They call it a low blow. Gave him all kind of time. That referee, I don't know, man. That guy was really biased, man. Whereas Tyson Fury, he got up at the count of 10. I mean, it might have been a slow count, but the referee was counting and he got up in time. Shit.
Hey, man, that's not the point. That's not my point. My point is this. She was unconscious. If you get knocked out, you're out. You're done.
He got up though, Fanon.
Once you're unconscious,
you got up.
When you're shit, everybody get up eventually. If you're unconscious, you don't break your fall.
You got till 10 to get up.
Was he knocked out?
10 to get up, bro.
You got 10 to get up.
Shit, when you start the count at 20, shit, that's 30. That's 30 seconds right there.
He was
on. Well, I'll tell you what, Usyk got 5 minutes almost. So that's all I can say. He beat up Dubois when he got up, and Dubois quit, but it was a hell of a body shot.
Come on, man.
Go right back to that.
Knocked unconscious. If you get knocked unconscious, that fight is over. They don't count when people get knocked unconscious. When Manny Pacquiao got his ass knocked flat on his face, boom. Man, it didn't count. They weren't over there. 1, get up. 2, 3, none of that. When that man did not break his fall, landed flat on his face, that's it. When Joe Joyce was trying to get up, they didn't give him 10 seconds to get up. They gave him 5 seconds to get up, and they waved that fight. Nope, stop it. Just stay down. Mm-hmm. If you don't break your fall, you just completely. He collapsed, bro. He collapsed. He was unconscious from the moment that punch landed, bro. He was out. And they did not break his fall, nothing. He got hit with that straight right. Then he got hit with that left hook. And then on the way down, he got hit with that left hook. And he did not break his fall at all. Just rolled, boom. So, if you say, I saw a low blow with Alexander Usyk. I saw it. It was about this far. Like his pinky was below the belt. His pinky was like the knuckle of his pinky was below that belt.
You wear contact lenses for now?
I know, but I should.
Contact lenses or glasses? Which one?
Neither one, bro. But if you want to know if I can't see, I can't see. You're 100% right. I just wanted to point out that inconsistency there, though, dog. Just a little bit of one.
Hey, Blood, I got 2 fights I want to ask you about. Hey, Blood, I got 2 fights I want to ask you about before I get out of here.
Okay. All right.
Bud versus Boots. Matias versus Devin.
Bud versus Boots. Okay, I'm say that, man. That's a really good fight. It's competitive. Both of these guys are switch hitters. Boots definitely has the age advantage. I think due to the experience, man, I think that Bud, I would still favor Bud to win the fight, but it's a very dangerous fight for Bud, man. I would favor Bud to win a strategic chess match in that fight. It would be a strategic fight, a chess match. I would favor Bud, but I wouldn't be surprised. Boots is probably the guy. He could be his Huckleberry, man. And you said Devin Haney versus Matias, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Devin Haney, man. I'm gonna go with Haney to outbox him, man. Devin Haney ain't gonna engage with him, man. He's gonna use his footwork, fight at the end of his jab. He ain't gonna engage. Devin Haney is not gonna engage with anybody. He ain't had a knockout since 2019. So Devin Haney's game plan is gonna be to win a decision in that fight. I would go with Devin Haney to win that fight. And we already know he ain't even going to try to keep the fight mid or close range, man. He's going to keep it long range, man. Unless Matias could cut that ring off good, man. But I don't know. It's going to be hard against Devin Haney, man.
Why are you jumping?
I don't know.
Why are you jumping past fights, Senior? You must think somebody about to get whooped up on December 9th.
No, I just.
You must.
And we also didn't get. Hey, Senior, we didn't get your 5 either, man. We didn't get your 5 fighters, man.
Tank,
Bud. He kind of skipped us on that.
Tank, Bud, Canelo. I was trying to figure out who to put in 3, but now you want 4 and 5. I got Tank, Bud, Canelo. This is going against everything I believe in. Devin.
So we know who.
You got him over Shakur? You got Dev over Shakur? Wow.
Right now, yeah. Shakur got to show me some more.
Wow.
Shakur got to show me some more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And 5. I'll put Shakur in there at 5.
Man.
I really want to put Earl Spence in there, but take Shakur out, put Earl in there.
That's fair. Then you can definitely give Jervonta. You definitely got to give fighter. Then you definitely leaning towards fighter of the year for Terence. If you get past the second one.
See, but I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna make that fight though, because they're going back and forth with the 147, 154. I still got questions about that fight night, like that night. What Errol Spence was that night?
Yeah, well,
you see what I'm saying? So like that's really bothering me. Like, what was the issue? And I don't think we're gonna get it. But what was the issue that night? And everybody can have a bad night or off night, but that's just we've never seen that Errol Spence.
Yeah, that's tough, man. But it's tough. I mean, I've been told things. I've been told things. I've heard things, and I'm fairly confident that is definitely like. It's a bad time to have to experience a camp and experience those type of things. And I don't like about the whole Errol thing. I just don't like because I don't like anything can happen to people in camp.
Mm-hmm.
Like Terence Crawford may have had a sprained ankle or something we don't know about, right? Things could have happened in this camp that you don't know about. The thing that I don't like about that I didn't like about that fight for Errol, is I just don't like the inactivity. I did not like that. I did not like that 2 years for Danny Garcia, between Danny Garcia and Ugas, or between Sean Porter and Ugas is one fight in like 3 years. And then for him to come off that extended layoff for no good reason, to have another big layoff in between the Ugas and the Crawford fight. So for me, if activity is a serious thing, and activity is a serious thing, man, keeping people sharp, then I just don't think Errol was sharp at all. It would be almost impossible for Errol to be as sharp as he was when Errol fought Keith Thurman, or when he fought like Sean Porter, or even when he fought Ugas, when he fights Danny and then a reasonable amount of time. But see, he got a fight held up with Manny Pacquiao in between. So it's like Errol had the fight with Danny, and then he was going to fight Pacquiao. Then he gets a torn retina. Then that camp gets delayed. So then he takes another fight with Ugas. He looks very good against Ugas. And then he's supposed to fight Terence. Terence pulls out of the negotiations. Then he has another fight that's rumored to have been set up, whether it was Thurman or somebody else. And then he gets in another minor car accident, And then he has minor injuries from that. And then he takes more time off to fight Terence. So for me, it's like, is he going to be able to get an opportunity to take 3 or 4 fights in a row? Like, that's why I don't like that. Like, I appreciate Errol as somebody that says he doesn't want tune-ups, but I think he is somebody that absolutely positively needs tune-ups. He needs them. He needs to go in there and be like, okay, who you about to fight? Well, I'm about to fight Alexis Rocha. Who are you going to fight next? Well, shit, I'm about to go fight Maurice Hooker. You know what I mean? Give me Maurice Hooker. Why? Because I'm about to whoop Maurice Hooker, but I'm gonna go through a whole training camp, get in shape, beat him, go 6 or 7 rounds, get that under my belt. Then who you gonna fight next? Shit, I'm gonna fight, what's that man's name? The guy that does woo all the time.
Blair Cobbs.
Yeah, fight Blair Cobb, and you get like 3 fights in. This is what Tyson Fury does. Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder, and then he doesn't take the rematch. And what does he do? He comes out there and he's like, boom, he's gonna fight. I don't know who was it, Otto Wallin and Schwartz, right? 2 guys that he can just have training camps for, get in the ring, pretty much do what he wants, other than with Schwartz cut his eye open. And then he's back in there Same thing he's doing now. Like he beat Deontay Wilder. He was forced into the 3rd fight. Then he fights Dillian White. Then he fights Derek Chisora. Neither one of these dudes really have any chance of beating him at all. And now he's going to do one more and beat somebody else that ain't got no chance. Then I wouldn't be surprised after that. He said, okay, now he's keeping himself sharp. He jumps in there with Usyk, right? So for me, Errol Spence, the thing that I will point to that nobody can argue about is his inactivity, which is what I think he going for. My personal opinion is that, like, the way that the politics works itself out and everything else is set there, I think it's in his best interest to take Terence Crawford, this rematch is at 154, or I'm going to go fight somebody else and you go fight somebody else. And then see if he can get himself sharp. And then once he's sharp, then revisit the rematch. Because I don't really know Terrence plays this negotiation game where, he's like, I got other options. But dude, he only has really one option to make that type of money. And the longer Errol waits that out and maybe fighting somebody else, the more interest there's going to be in the rematch with Errol knocking a couple dudes out or looking good. And then Terrence, I still don't believe, is somebody that is going to retire early. I don't believe it, because that's what he seems to be, is a guy that loves to fight. He loves the adulation of fighting. And if you're betting what kind of guy is, without real injuries that are really hurting him, are going to stop, most of these boxers don't really ever stop until they get injured. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm sorry, I kind of took that real quick. My guy Soda Black says, shout out Coach Prime and shot and CO. Is Mel scared of Canelo? His energy seems off to me based on him ain't talking like the normal Jermell. I don't think he's scared at all. I just think that Canelo's not giving him anything to get pissed about. I don't know how much more time you got, Mr. Senior. You want me to say, Mr. All Access Senior?
No, you good. You got another super chat up there that
I got a couple. I took this one. I'm gonna run this one right here. Soda Black.
He dropped another one. He was asking me a question.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go with this. Derek Choi said, boxing is more than just punching. It's also using your brains. Usyk used his wits to buy himself more time and recover. I can't be mad at that. Yeah, but that's not boxing, though. And Expensive Paper said, Bomb Squad. Thank you, brother. Said, Bomb Squad for life. Salute to the legendary panel. Yes, sir. Yeah, blood boxing is definitely legendary. My guy Senior is getting there quick. You can forget about me as soon as this channel is over. As soon as this thing is over. Kenneth Johnson said, did Larry Holmes break his fall against Shavers? Did he break his fall against Shavers? No, I don't think he did. I think he fell out and they started counting. Sam Jackson,
he's trying to make, though, right, Phenom?
Yeah, I do. I'm not saying it never happened before. I'm just saying most times people have got hit with legitimate low blows, legitimate shots, and got dropped that they didn't call a drop before. The question is, has it never happened before? I mean, what? You wanted to, I'm sure all kind of things that are bad have happened before. It doesn't have to have never happened before in order for it to be something that shouldn't have happened then. That's just something he's using to say, well, if I can point out one instance of it ever happening before, that means it's okay. Well, guess what? Say, for example, Margarito got caught with loaded gloves. Are you going to say, okay, well, so what? Luis Resto got caught with loaded gloves too. You know what I mean? Like, don't act like that's the first time that anybody has ever got caught with loaded gloves before. You know what I mean? Or somebody gets caught with funny gloves and they say, well, the commission didn't catch it. Well, if the commission didn't catch it and the commission didn't do anything, then what's the big deal? Because the commission didn't catch something that's illegal. Right? Can't you point to low blows that were not called low blows before? That were called low blows, but they weren't low blows before?
There's a reason why there's a 10 count, bro.
There's a reason why there's a 10 count, and there's also reasons why they have this. There's a reason they got this signal.
I mean, if that was the case, they did in the Ronnie Lyle George Foreman fight for every damn knockdown. If that was the case, if that was the case, that they should have did that for every knockdown in the George Foreman Ronnie Lyle fight.
No, they broke their fall, bro. I remember that clearly enough. Don't try to slip that in. They did not fall flat back in their head, bounce off the dang.
No, man, those were some hard falls, bro.
It's the truth of the matter is that it is the referee's discretion. That's the truth of it. The reason why they didn't do it from Tyson Fury is because Jack Reese decided not to, and that was his decision.
And then Tyson Fury got up, brother.
And Tyson Fury got up and won the rest of the round and wound up getting a draw in the fight. Same way that Alexander Usyk got up and beat the brakes off your boy Danny Dubois for the rest of the fight and made him quit.
Well, why Dubois got to be my boy now? Why?
Because he is your boy. Because he is your boy. He's a fake. First of all, y'all got to understand that blood boxing is not a true American. Blue blood, blood boxing is out there in the UK during his formative years, eating tea and crumpets on a military base, and that's why he has his love for Daniel Dubois. I also suspect that you're probably also. Do you have family in the islands?
Yep.
Yeah. See, so you got the Caribbean bias. You know, I think Danny Dubois is Danny Dubois African or Jamaican? Which one is it? I don't know.
Jamaican. He's
Jamaican. There
you
go. Are you Jamaican?
Yeah, some. Yeah.
There you go. So we got a Jamaican Brit riding for another Jamaican Brit. That's why I say that's your boy.
Oh man, you got to go there, don't you?
Hey man,
all right.
Look, I get it on me living in Texas. You going, bro?
No, not chat. I'm waiting for you. I was going to answer that question from.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sam Jack said, "Appreciate the content." My bad. Let me move forward. I'll get to it, man. There you go. My guy, Soda Black said, Coach Season, when did you realize Tank was a created player with a 99 overall rating, no safety, strap season? Yeah.
When he was an amateur, the city would stop when he was an amateur. You know what I mean? Tank fighting. Like it was a big, his fights as an amateur was big and sold out. So, you know what I mean? He was putting on a hell of a performance then. So, you know what I mean? It just carried over to the pros. But this the shit he was doing as an amateur. The city was coming to a halt when he had fights. That was a must-see event for him as an amateur.
So he's like LeBronish. Wow.
He was a big deal at an early age.
Yeah, man, that stood out for me when I saw that Pedraza fight in New York, and there was like, I don't know what was that. That was on the undercard or something. I don't remember what the
that was on Mayweather undercard. Mayweather versus
No, because it was at the it was at the Barclays Center. I don't think Floyd ever fought at the Barclay.
I could have swore that was on his
not
undercard.
the Jose Pedraza. The whole watch. Let me see. I'll pull it up. Nah, it was somebody else, man. It may have been a heavyweight or somebody. Or I'll get it. It's easy to pull up, so we don't have to think about it.
Brown might have been Broner.
It could have been, but I think it was somebody more like a 154 pounder or something. Let me see.
Why do I got that fight on Mayweather?
It was Badu Jack James DeGale. The headliner in that was Badu Jack James DeGale.
Why do I got that on? Oh,
yeah, it was Badu Jack James DeGale. was the headliner of that fight, and they were fighting for the IBF super middle, the IBF and WBC. It was a unification fight for the IBF 168 and the WBC 168, and it wound up being a draw. And I think that they wound up keeping their belts or whatever. But no, it was not Broner. It was Badu Jack. I got the event right here. I'll look.
I'm trying to think what fight I just confused that with, though.
What do you say?
I'm trying to think what fight I just confused that with, because you're absolutely right.
If you're talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr., he fought Francisco Fonseca.
All right.
He fought Fonseca on the undercard of that one. But the thing that really struck me was how the crowd exploded. For Gervonta, man, Gervonta got more in New York City. He got more cheers and more support in New York City on the undercard than the main event fighters got. Because I was like, man, who is it? Because I had seen him and I heard of him, but I was like, God, and it was such a crazy fight, man. Like he showed everything. He showed everything in that particular fight. Like he showed patience at a time where, it was the first championship fight. He started beating up on Jose Pedraza, like counter punching Jose Pedraza and taking the lead on Jose Pedraza. And then Pedraza, during the middle rounds, started pushing forward. You remember when he started doing all this stuff, like kind of like acting like he wanted to really come forward. And Gervonta fought on the back foot, fought on the back foot for a while. And then as soon as Pedraza started slowing down a little bit, Tank started hitting him, countering with them nasty ass body shots, and eventually started looking at the corner, was like doing that shit. I was like, man, that dude right there is the truth. I want to tell you who are the most exciting fighters, but I want to ask the question: who are the 3 most exciting fighters in boxing? Would you say, Blood? No. Oh yeah, you answered that question.
Yeah, I gave you that.
They're not the 3 most exciting.
The 3 most exciting: Monster Inoue, Tank Davis delivers the big knockouts, Terence Crawford. Man, you're leaving a blazing one out of there. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I disagree. The most exciting fighter for me, the most exciting fighters in boxing for me, Deontay Wilder, Gervonta Davis, and Errol Spence. To me, are the 3 most exciting fighters in boxing. And the reason I say Gervonta, as the reason I say Errol, is the beatings. And just when he's fighting, just the intensity of the fight, the number of punches that are getting thrown, and just how every second of the fight is entertaining. But Terence Crawford, because of the intensity of the beating he took,
the intensity. That's just the last fight. But even that last fight was an exciting fight. I'm just talking about the excitement of the fight. Like, for example, James Toney to me is an exciting fighter, whether or not he knocks somebody out or he doesn't knock somebody out. But I never found somebody that gets knockouts that I don't really think, like, I'm not like Tyson Fury gets knockouts. That dude is not exciting to me at all. Tyson Fury gets knockouts.
I hope T. Orlando don't get randoms on his job, because he's definitely gonna get one tomorrow.
What you talking? What talking about?
T. Orlando, what did he say? He said, where'd it go at? He said, where'd it go at?
I go. I
guess. He said Fury,
and Haney. Oh, he's trolling.
Yeah, he's gonna get a random tomorrow.
Yeah. Random blood and urine test, dog. They're gonna bother you for them drugs, bro. They're gonna bother them for the drugs, man.
Appreciate you for inviting me on, Fanon. Nice to meet you, Blood.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir, man.
Hey, Fanon, can you send me the link to Blood channel?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. He's got 2 channels, actually.
Text them to me, please. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah. I'll text you. Yeah, for sure.
I gotta make a run before we
start. Man, we're gonna keep in contact, brother.
Man, you feel free to come on whenever you like, man.
I sure will, brother.
I appreciate you, man. So I'm gonna misquote you later on today and say it's Lomachenko. I won't do that. I'm just joking. All right, bro.
I might say it's Shakur.
I know you didn't say, honestly, you didn't say nothing.
I might say it's Tio.
I know, man. I can't do
Mike
it.
Loma.
Damn, dog. Stop fucking with my head, man. Come on. You should just tell us, man, so we can get it going. Man, who do you want it? But who do you want it to be, Blood?
I want it to be Shakur. I want it to be Shakur.
I don't mean to cut you off, Blood, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this. With Coach Calvin saying that, right? In that last fight that Pitbull had where he shit the bed, I think we could take him off the table.
Yeah, that should be taken off the table.
Yeah, I think we could take Pitbull off the table.
I agree.
But you asked me who I want to see?
Yeah.
I'll check you out on the show. Have a nice day.
I like that on you, brother.
Shout out to International Boxing, man. Appreciate the love and support, man. Everybody.
Hey, man, anytime, man. Make sure you guys all subscribe to the Rise Podcast, man. Rise Podcast is what's up. And on top of it, put some color in their chat. Support them, man, because these dudes get their content stolen all the time, bro. People listen to what they got to say, and they take it, and they go run off, and they make money. So the very least you can do, if you listen to what these dudes say, if you're going to take their content and what they say, use it as a source, dog, go by that channel, man, and drop them some orange, drop them some red, drop them some yellow. It's the least you can do for the content that they put out. I make sure that I do it on a regular basis. And I'm gonna get back. All right, bro, get back, man. Enjoy the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Peace, bro.
Yes, sir.
That was fun, man. That was nice talking,
man. These are good dudes, man. Bro, I can only stay for 2 hours. I have some things to get done. So you at an hour and 30. So we only got 20 more minutes for Blood. So everybody got to cut out these days, man. These Sunday. You going to church, Blood?
No, man. I got a little bit of running around to do today, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you. Somebody said it's not Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman is ridiculous. What you think about Keith Thurman, man?
He's been inactive for so long, man. He's like irrelevant to me, really, at this stage. I'd have to see Keith Thurman in a comeback fight to see what he even still has left. He's irrelevant.
Man, he's not irrelevant.
When's the last time Keith Thurman fought? It's been 2 years at least, right?
Mario Barrios, February of 2022. February of 2022, I do believe. I think he fought not too long before Errol did. Before Errol fought Ugas.
Going on 2 years ago now.
Yeah, man. I like Keith Thurman, though, man. I want Keith Thurman to get out there and fight, man. I want Keith Thurman to fight. I like it. I want to see him fight. But, man, the fight got to be like, the fight's got to be something that I understand from his perspective. It's got to be something that's worth getting him out of his bed, because that dude has already made a ton of money. But I mean, irrelevant, I wouldn't say he's irrelevant unless you think the whole 147-pound division is irrelevant right now after Errol and Terence are done. Because I think he is relevant in the sense that he is connected to Jerron, bro. A Black Ball said, thank you for bringing a neutral. Man, shut your bitch ass up, dog. I'm not even listening to that dumb
shit. What he said, man?
Man, you'll never read it, bro. That's that dude blackballed. He's the guy that I said I'm never gonna let on the channel again.
Oh.
Go away, bro. Your channel, your shit is gone, bro. Yeah, you're gone, bro. I'm not trying to hear that, man.
Hey, he said he's subscribing to my page, though, man.
Thank you. Shout out to you, bro. Blood Boxing, bringing a neutral point of view, calling Fanon out on the Fury situation. Did you call me out on the Fury situation? Did you call me out on a? Did you call me out?
Yeah, I called you out on the Fury.
No, you didn't. I called you out on the Fury situation. I called you out. You got it twisted up. I said blood is being hypocritical.
Yeah. I actually called him out on the Fury situation, guys.
Man, come on, man. I call this man out, and y'all act like he called me out. I said, if Daniel Dubois, his cousin, if Blood, and by the way, Blood is about the same height and about the same size as Daniel Dubois. Ain't you? What you about 6'5"?
Yeah, somewhere close, yeah.
Yeah, right about 6'5". What's Daniel Dubois? About 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", something like that. Right around that size.
We're about the same height.
Yeah, both Jamaican. both, you know, from the living in
Somebody in the
spending time
comments said he's from Grenada, though. Somebody in the comments said he's from Grenada, though. Somebody said that Dubois is from Grenada. I don't know if that's
is he? Okay, there you go. Fanon been getting bodied by
so
blood.
you got to kill that argument. You can't put that on me no more, man.
I mean, you know, whatever, man. You foreigners are all your own foreigners. I want to build a wall. All you Negroes that shouldn't be in here because there's a wall. I'm with Donald Trump. Make America great again, dog. Foundational Black Americans only. But anyway, man. Back to real conversation, man, because that is not what that is. Keith Thurman, man, I want to see Keith Thurman fight Jerron, man. But I liked your take on Jerron. Jerron is a live dog with Terence. But Jerron, I'm telling you, Terence gonna screw around and hit 37 years old, bro. And that's
the
gonna
longer
be an
he waits to
in
fight Ennis, if he does fight Ennis, it could only get worse for him the longer he waits, though.
Yeah. I think it's gonna get worse for everybody, man. I think it's gonna get worse for everybody.
I agree.
I do. I think it's gonna get worse for
everybody. I'm not even sure if he could beat Ennis now, to be honest. I would favor him, but I wouldn't be surprised, though.
If Ennis gets that, man. That guy is like, for me, it's that, first of all, I think that he's every bit as talented. Let me get these super chats real quick. Have we seen the best of Tank? I don't think so. I think Tank's getting better. I think Tank is getting better because of all the fight experience that he has and the fact that he stays so sharp. And it's going to be just so very difficult to beat that dude because of his power and his patience. His power, his patience, the fact that he can fight on the back foot, the fact that he can fight coming forward, the fact that he's used to fighting taller fighters, kind of like that Sam Langfordish type of situation where somebody short gets used to and actually starts liking fighting taller fighters. What do you think? So what's your take on that, man?
On which one?
Have we seen the best of Tank?
No, absolutely not. No, we have not seen the best of Tank Davis. We're going to see the best of Tank when the competition steps up, man. I believe that Tank is the best in that weight range, though. I don't think nobody could beat him now. I'd like to see Tank get busy right now, though. I'd like to see him get busy and fight. So if he does end up taking a big fight and it's somebody like Lomachenko, that's the one we're going to see the best of Tank. And I believe that Tank would beat Devin Haney, too. I believe he'll beat Shakur Stevenson. I don't know if it's going to always be like that, but as of right now, man, I have Tank beating all of those guys, bro.
Yeah, and the Red said FDA, Foundational Black Americans. Only one of your parents are from the island, right?
My dad is from here in Florida.
Yeah, so he's I was just joking with him. He's a foundational Black American. Listen to him talk. He's straight up Florida Negro, bro.
Yeah, my pop is from Florida, right here. He a country boy just like me, but my mom is from the islands, though.
And my guy, hey, real quick, let me get these super cash apps said. Support the community. Hey, Mick Philly, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you a ton, sir. Thank you very much for that support. My sister, Coach Ari, said, good morning, Fanon, and the chat. Thank you, sister. I'm sorry I was a little slow. I was a little slow on that. Thank you, sister, for the support. Good to see you once again. And Freddie Jackson says, supporting this good boxing talk. That's my guy, Black Parent, in the building. Thank you with the $10 holler, brother. That means a lot, man. Thank you. T. Orlando said, hey, RuPaul, you can jump on the channel. Somebody sponsor RuPaul for a second. Somebody, because seriously, man, that dude be on my nerves, man.
Hey, shout out to T. Orlando for what he said.
T. Orlando out here. Man, T. Orlando out here lying, too. He a lawyer.
Did you see what he said, though?
Lying. Yeah, I heard him. I've been getting bodied by you and him for weeks now. Yeah, see, let me tell you what it is, man. Let me tell you what it is. Y'all don't like this perfect record. So you out here talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. because he took a couple rounds, because he went the distance with Jose Luis Castillo, that it was a robbery. Nah, I ain't trying to hear none of that, dog. Y'all just sit on these L's. Y'all sit on these L's. Y'all know you taking. Don't be trying to get these people bold. I'm in my career undefeated. I say use a fool fan. Hey, haven't Tank so strategic, saving the best for last. Let me see if there was something else. Oh, we didn't talk about the fights last night. Richardson Hitchens. Did you see the Richard? Hey, did you see the fight? Let's go back to We talked about the Zhang fight. Did you see the Jessica McCaskill fight versus Sandy Ryan?
Yeah, I believe that McCaskill lost that fight, bro.
Yeah, I do too. But one thing that stuck to me with that fight, what is it about these UK fighters that they are always pushing? Like if you notice how much they just do forearm shoves of in the UK.
It's that traditional European style, man.
Is that I need to know, and I'm asking this not like it's a criticism. But dude, if you getting right up on somebody and then you push them and throw them and then punch them, no, that is some real crafty. It's a robbery now. Get on the ground. I don't know. Look, here's my thing. It's hard for me to really tell whether it was I think she won. I would have scored the fight. I didn't score the fight. But I know that Jessica McCaskill was landing shots, throwing shots. She was staying busy at times. It seemed though that Sandy Ryan was landing the bigger shots. Yeah. Soda Black said, "I've never seen Fanon get bodied. Neither have they. Neither have they." But yeah, man, I thought that was I definitely think Sandy Ryan won that fight. But that's what you get when you fight in the United States. And but they'll run another rematch, man. They'll run another rematch. The other fight, Africa. Richardson Hitchens.
Oh my
versus
God.
Jose Pedraza. What are your thoughts
I
on
was
Richardson?
Trying my best to stay awake, I'll put it that way. It was a boring ass fight, bro. Man, that was a boring fight. Hey, listen, I'm getting tired of making excuses for these young fighters, man, and saying that, hey, I appreciate the science and all of that. But he should have tried to close the show in Zepeda, man. I mean, we've seen it several times. It's not like he has any standout Roy Jones skills going on where he's leading with hooks and uppercuts. He could have tried to put his foot on the gas, man. The guy is boring, man. I guess he's not trying to get another TV spot. That was a very dull fight, man. I had to fight to stay awake for that fight. And I'm not going to sit up here and make no excuses for him and say, hey, man, I love the science of the game and this. And you know how we like to say that sometimes. You guys don't appreciate the science. You guys who say that these guys are boring don't appreciate the science. No, that was a boring fight, man. That was dull, bro. That was a dull fight. Zepeda did nothing to cut the ring off. He wasn't letting his hands go, which means that Hitchens should have been able to put his foot on the gas and get this guy out of there. Regis Prograis knocked out Zepeda. So did that other guy over in Europe. The British guy knocked him out too. So Hitchens gonna get this guy out of there. The guy wouldn't even throw no punches. It was a dull fight, bro. It was a terrible performance. If this guy Hitchens, if he wants to be a popular fighter, then he's gonna have to step up, man, because that just was not entertaining at all. That was a terrible performance, man, by Zepeda, and Hitchens did not capitalize on that, man. I was not impressed, bro. Sorry, not impressed.
Okay, man. This is my take on it.
Okay.
God dog, man. I had my headphones on because I'm trying to spend more time with the wife. Like, my son had a basketball game, man. I drove all the way out to San Antonio, which is like an hour and a half drive. The game gets canceled because the air conditioner is not working and the floors are all full of sweat. So they had to cancel the games. I'm on my way back. I'm watching this shit. And I like the Jessica McCaskill fight with what's her name. I was into the whole fight. I was listening to her. I was into the whole fight. What was the fight that took place after that? There's another fight after that.
It was that guy, the middleweight. I can't think of his name. The little kind of tall middleweight.
Connor bum-ass Ben.
Oh, Connor Ben. Yeah, he fought too.
Connor bum-ass Ben.
Conor Benn, yeah. There was also that middleweight that fought too. I can't think of his name either, but Conor Benn fought.
Ammo Williams was before him.
Okay.
Ammo Williams fought. So there was Ammo Williams. I thought Ammo Williams, that was a good step-up fight for Ammo Williams.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, like Pull-Out Band said Ammo Williams struggled. I thought that was a good fight for him.
It was a good fight.
Because he was dealing with Steve Rose, who's a difficult fighter, man, who's been in there with championship dudes.
That's
and
the
he
fight
showed
I'm talking about.
Yeah. He showed him that, look, man, I count that he kept getting hit with that. He kept getting hit with that counter right hand from Steve Rose, a southpaw.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He kept getting hit with that. He kept getting hit with that counter. I think it was a counter right hand he kept hitting him with, or a counter left hand. I can't remember. But
he
kept
gave him a tough fight, man. It was a tough fight. It was a good
Ammo
fight.
Williams, Ammo Williams got the talent, and I liked it for him. For a fight that's on the undercard, I think that was a good development fight for him. It's not like he needed to, it was a step-up fight for him. It was a step-up fight for him. He won it. I thought Ammo Williams he can do that, and he can take that go back to the drawing board, and he can get better because of that. Because thinking he was just going to be able to light off and land them big shots on him, anyway, I didn't mind the Ammo Williams. I didn't mind the Ammo Williams fight. The Jessica McCaskill, Sandy Ryan fight, I was happy that my Chicago girl got a gift. You know what I mean? If I could have gifted it to
Conor Benn, though, I want to hear what you're thinking about Conor Benn.
Yeah, Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn got off that juice, and I think Conor Benn got off that juice, and he lost a lot of that power. And because he was hitting that dude with a lot of very clean, crisp shots, and that dude did not go nowhere. He got hurt a couple times, but he didn't go anywhere with that. So, but Conor Benn at the same time is really sharp. He's a sharp puncher. So, I think his skills were better than I thought that they were, because I'd seen him before just kind of go at guys and just try to walk them down and mow them down. In this one, I saw him fight on the back foot. I saw him catching him with a lot of clean uppercuts, clean, sharp jabs, clean straight rights. He landed a lot of. So Conor Benn showed more skill than I've seen Conor Benn show before. But Conor Benn did not have that. He did not look the same. He didn't look like that over the top ass strong gorilla ass, I'm gonna run and break you down type of. I didn't see that same amount. It's like with the Chris, when he hit Chris Algeria, when he just ran through Chris Algeria and ran through these other dudes. If he was like that, dude took some real flush shots, bro. Like real flush, hard shivering shots, bro, throughout the entire fight. So from one side of it, I thought that Conor Benn showed a lot of skill. Like he's a skilled fighter. He's not. Yeah, he's a skilled fighter, man. I think he showed me a lot of skill in that fight, that he's an accomplished fighter and he knows what he's doing in that ring. That power did not look the same, or at least the reaction off them very clean shots landing didn't look the same. I will tell him.
You think he gets the belt at 154 though? You think he gets one of them? You think he gets one of them belts at 154?
No. Don't. No. I think that I'll take them all, but I'll take at 154.
I think that's.
I think Brian Castano. I do not think he can beat Brian Castano. I would not have him beating a Brian Castano. I would not have him beating a Tim Tszyu. If he could beat Tim Tszyu, I'd be shocked. Virgil Ortiz is coming up there too. We got to see what's going on with Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that was my take. Like, I was like, of course, the level of fighter he was in, could have allowed some of that stuff to be landing where he might not have done it against somebody else. But he looked sharp. He looked like a very, very solid, very skilled fighter. But at the same time, power looked a little funny. What was your take on it?
I kind of agree with you, man. But I didn't know if it had to do with that Mexican kid that he fought just having a really hard hit, because that guy's never been floored. He's never been knocked down before. And some guys just take really good punches. I think those punches that he was hitting the kid with would have dropped some people. I think it would have dropped some of the fighters. As far as him beating somebody like Castano or Tim Tszyu or someone like that, I think he would give all of those guys a really good matchup, but I'm not sure if he could beat those guys either. I'd like to see him take his time, take a few more fights at 154. Because I think he's fighting at 154, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's where he's going to campaign. But, you know, when you move up, too, sometimes your power don't carry up as much. But I do think that he was on that juice, man, for sure. And I think he's might have lost a little bit of his edge to being on that juice. But like you said, he's a real sharp puncher, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? He has better head movement than I give him credit for. His head movement was pretty good. He was able to get out of the way a lot of punches. He moved around the ring. Lateral movement was decent and things like that. I think he needs a little bit more work, man. He's not what his father was. He's not what his father was, but I like Conor Ben, and I think he has a chance to become a world champion again. So I would disagree with you.
Was he ever a world champion?
You know what? I'm not. He was never a world champion, but I think he has a chance to become a world champion. Though you're right, he wasn't a world champion. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, but those are some tough boys up there, 154. Like again, I forgot about Virgil Ortiz. That's who I want to see Errol fight. That's who I want to see.
You want Errol to fight Virgil Ortiz?
Oh yeah, man, I would love to see that fight. Yeah, at 154, definitely. Yeah, absolutely, I would love to see it because it's a Texas fight, man. That should be in Dallas. That should be off the chain to go see that fight. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Why you look like that? Why wouldn't you want to see it?
I don't want to see Errol get hurt by Virgil Ortiz. Man.
By Virgil Ortiz?
Yeah.
Wow. Virgil?
I think Virgil Ortiz would beat Errol, man. I think Errol is past it, bro. I think he's damaged goods. I've been saying it for a long time, bro. I think he's damaged goods. I said it before the fight, before he fought Crawford. I was saying it.
Yeah, I mean, you're consistent with that. I mean, I don't know. We'll see the second fight. I don't know. I know that I've seen fighters, man, shit could have just went wrong, but we'll see. But look, man, we right at about 2 hours, man. Thanks, Blood. It was a pleasure talking to you, brother.
I'll see you next week, man. Oh, hold on. Wait, one more time before I go for now.
Oh, we didn't do no. Richards and Hitchens. I didn't say what about Richards and Hitchens. Then I'm going to let you go because we got 4 more minutes. Richards and Hitchens, to me, is exactly what I did. I took one of the headphones out and I started watching the movie at the same time of the fight. It was like this because every time the dude tries to engage, he backs up and then he slips or he grabs or he throws a couple shots.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, rinse and repeat. And then maybe like towards like 11 or 12, he starts sitting down on the shots more. And I'm like, okay, he's going to sit down on these shots. He's got this dude's face bloodied up. He's got the guy, he's looking like he's hurting. And then he backs up again. It's like, man, like.
I know, man.
Like, yeah, okay, you're a really good fighter, but dude, man, that shit was boring. It wasn't boring because it was a bad fight. It just was like, I know, okay, this is exactly how this is going to go for 12 rounds. So you're going to coast out on this, man. You know what I mean? Versus you doing say Gervonta will do. Dude, Gervonta will at a certain point in time, bro, he is going to start hitting on the gloves or something to step forward and or Terence Crawford is going to step forward. Like if Terence Crawford fought like that, shit would be boring. But he eventually starts coming down, starts looking for shots to really land big shots and get you out of there. And it seems like Hitchens got enough power to do it. It's not like, because I saw him land some legitimately sharp, strong punches.
Me too.
But he just not going for it, man. You know what I mean? Maybe if you need to get just a little bit better where you feel like you can really go for it and still be able to defend at the same time, man. But you're going to have to be able to do some of that, as you get higher and higher and all of that. That's why Jaron Ennis's fights are so much more exciting. Because, dude, he ain't fighting like that. That dude at a certain, like that last one, Roman Villa, he stopped. He was tapping him, moving him. And then at a certain point in time, all right, let me step in here and beat you to the body. Let me fight you on the inside for a little bit of time, wear you down. Then I'll get back on the bicycle. And then when you run around a little bit more, then I'll do it again. And I'm going to step in on you. I'm going to start banging with you. It's like He doesn't have that. Let me sit down and bang with you and get you out of here and wear you down so we don't have to get to these scorecards thing. And that's why I say Errol's an exciting fighter to me, because he'll go in there and he'll do that.
Try to close.
He'll go in there.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll step. So what were your thoughts on it, man? And then whatever you wanted to say, because I know you said you got
I agree, man. One thing about these young fighters, man, they got to try to close the show because it makes more people, it increases the fan interest. Try to close the show, man, when you got these guys hurt like that. Because I think he could have taken Zepeda out, man. Zepeda's been stopped 2 times before, and I think this is something that he could have did. Before I go, though, just for next week, man, right? I want you to tell me one more time, who do you got in Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez? Is it the decision for who? No. I know you said you got Alvarez, but how do you have it?
Okay. Firstly, I don't want to make a prediction because I'm uncertain. So that's my prediction. My prediction is I don't want to make one because I'm uncertain. However, if I had to put money on what I think the outcome will be, I will say Terence Crawford. I would say Canelo Alvarez by decision. Canelo by decision. If I had to put money on it, but I'm going to hedge that bet with Jermell by knockout.
What?
I'll hedge it with Jermell by knockout. I would hedge it.
I've never seen Canelo really hurt before, though.
I have.
To where he's out on his feet?
I've seen him hurt by Kovalev. Definitely saw him get hurt by Kovalev. Definitely. Sergey Kovalev cracked him and hurt him. Absolutely, I've seen him hurt with. Now I've seen him not get hurt by Gennady Golovkin cracking him. So I'm not saying he ain't got no chin. And I know that Sergey Kovalev can really crack. But yeah, Sergey Kovalev hurt him. The thing why I'm saying that is because, man, Jermell be hurting people, man. Jermell is a knockout artist, bro. And if Canelo slows down in that second half of that fight, and Jermell is able to box, and man, he may catch him. He may hurt him, because Jermell has been doing that, man, against other people that I didn't think he would knock out Brian Castano, but I know that's 154. But at the same time, I think Jermell's a knockout artist, man. I would hedge my bet with that, but I don't think that's the most likely outcome. And I think the least likely outcome is that Canelo knocks out Jermell. I don't see that happening, because I think Jermell can get on that bike and move well enough. And I think these dudes are seeing what Canelo Alvarez is bringing. I think Canelo's too predictable to get to knock him out. But I'd have to go with Canelo by a decision.
Okay, big bro. I'll see you next Sunday, man. Thanks again, Fernand. It's been a great discussion as always, man. One love to you, big bro.
One love. In
Peace
7
out,
more days, you'll be 7 days closer to that 50. So don't you think
man.
I ain't remember when I started doing your ass in this half a century club? All right, bro.
Oh my God! Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
It ain't going
away.
One
love for now, big bro.
All right, one love, man. Get back with you,
easy,
sir.
Man.
All right, man. All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for checking out the channel again today. It was a wonderful conversation, OG Boxing Talk. I hope you enjoyed yourself, man. Thank you to everybody that supported the channel this morning. And with that, we're going to roll up out of here. Deuces.